And for our topic of the show, we're going to be talking more about, how we're staying sane during this COVID-19 crisis. And it's our 50th episode, so we're joined by the one and only former pre-show host, Tanner Zipchen.
We are back, and in honor of our 50th episode, we could think of no better way to celebrate it than having our very first ever guest on the movie podcast. And what a special guest it is. We are thrilled to welcome writer, actor, and former host of the pre-show, Tanner Z. Tanner, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us and being together when we're all pretty much being isolated right now.
This is true. Technology will keep us together. Yes.
Tanner, how have you been? Kind of, where's your head at right now with everything going on in the world?
Yeah, it's very surreal. We, everyone I think in Canada is doing the same thing. We wake up and we all kind of turn to the news or to the TV to see what will be said each day. It seems like around the same time, around 11:15 every day, there's some new update as far as how our country and the world is handling the outbreak and what we can do. And it's crazy. I think, like nobody has ever lived through a time like this. So this is, there are really no words to describe it. This is like uncharted territory for everybody. So I think it's just follow, the guidelines everyone's been giving, the social distancing, self-isolating, keeping people safe, really treating it like you do have the virus to just stop the spread and flatten that curve. And hopefully we'll see some positive change in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so true. What have you been doing to occupy your time so far right now? Like, I mean, we're in a weird spot right now where we could actually have time to, I guess, watch as much entertainment as there's available. I guess, what have you been doing to occupy your time?
Yeah, that's really all you can do. Thank God for TV and streaming services. Netflix, Amazon Prime. I think anybody who didn't have Prime before or Netflix before has it now. Disney Plus, Apple TV. It's like, yeah, great timing that all these new streaming platforms launched, just a few months ago. So we've got more options when we're, stuck inside. But I think it's, just a lot of that. Digging through the movie collection, trying to, watch some old favorites that I haven't got to in a while. And that's it. Also doing a lot of writing and things like that, and working ahead on, hopefully some projects that we can get going, as things, calm down. But yeah, who knows?
That's great.
That's wicked. Tanner, have you been watching anything new that maybe you want to tell everybody else to kind of start watching?
Yeah, I've been watching. I just started Chernobyl. I'm way behind on it. I know, I know. And Schitt's Creek. I've been catching up on my CanCon. Great show. Letterkenny as well. I'm just like on a little CanCon binge right now, and just a ton of films that I wasn't able to really get to the last little while. I saw Parasite only about a month ago. I was way late on it, but wow. I know.
And thoughts on Parasite?
What's that? Sorry?
What were your thoughts on Parasite?
Well, I saw the memes already. People are comparing self-isolating to being, stuck in your boss's house, and I kind of, I wish I was in a house like that right now. I feel like it would be, it would make life a lot better to be stuck in a place like that. But I liked it. I thought it was cool. I'm a big fan of all his films, and from Snowpiercer and to Okja and everything, and just like that unique take on society, and they're kind of really poking fun in a way at some of the things that we do and how ridiculous the things in our everyday lives are. And I thought it had a really great message behind it. And it really made me feel for people with peach allergies by the end of it all. So,
did you Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, my question, and this is for the whole group, is: do you think there's an opportunity for streaming platforms to now push out all their content because people are at home, like content that would be releasing maybe in a couple of months right now?
Yeah, I think it depends if they're ready to do it or not yet. I think a lot of times some of this stuff is like down to the wire, and as it finishes up, it's on the platform. So I know even with some of the shows that by the time they start airing on a cable platform, they're still working on episodes to later in the season. So I guess it depends if they're done and prepared, but we are seeing a lot of films making that jump to VOD. Onward just was announced today that that'll be coming to video on demand very soon. They just hit theaters. So a lot of the Warner Brothers titles, Birds of Prey, Invisible Man from Universal Studios. So we are seeing a shift in prioritizing the at home watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, it's like this is uncharted territory for so many people right now, right? With you, I know you said you were watching Chernobyl. Like, do you find that like with the events that are happening in that show, like, do you see, I guess, it mirroring what's happening now with like government not listening to like science and the actual things happening in the world?
Yeah, it is. It is eerie to watch, especially watch a show like that. I saw there was a huge spike in the film Contagion, which I think some people are. I mean, yeah, I can understand the desire to maybe watch a show like that, but I know a lot of people that are trying to stay away from it because it's just like it's too soon, it's too real. So I guess it really depends on where you stand on everything. But I have not watched Contagion yet. I will tell you that much.
Yeah, it's I watched it a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, we'll never get to that. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like, it hits a little too close to home right now.
Yeah, it's that's true. So I find I've been like, I think a lot of people too, from what I've been seeing online, people are gravitating towards the comedies and the more fun side of
which is good
of viewing to kind of like keep everyone's spirits up. I think that's the one positive thing. One of the positive things we're seeing coming from this is all the memes and all the ridiculousness online. I think people are doing a good job at keeping people laughing and keeping everyone's spirits up while we kind of just wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, the internet's like it's so helpful during all this.
Yes, they've been working very hard and keeping the memes fresh every day. I applaud all the memers out there for doing that.
Are you like I know because with Chernobyl as well? Like, so they just announced you're doing a Last of Us series as well. Are you a fan of The Last of Us? Are you gaming as well too to pass your time right now?
Yeah. I've played the game. I know there's the second the game coming, and yeah, I heard of the series, which is I'm excited for. I'll be interested to see if it works. I know like there were mixed reviews on like the Witcher series, so
right.
We'll see if that makes the jump. But I know they are making the Uncharted film apparently with Tom Holland, so. It's not. Yeah, we've seen a lot of video games make that leap, and I think really depending on how successful the game is, I think that'll be a good indicator of how the live action version will be. But the Resident Evil franchise went on for what was that, like 30 movies? I think.
So, I think they're
like
still going. Yeah. They haven't stopped yet.
31. That's right. That's right.
Tanner, now I know that movies right now are in this awkward place of not coming directly to theaters or maybe being pushed back, but were there any movies that you're looking forward to this year? Like, what are your top 3 films that you're looking forward to?
I was really looking forward to see Daniel Craig return as James Bond for one last time, and
it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts. It does. It's. I mean, I saw the headline right away. It was apparently James Bond needs more time to die. Which that was like that's clever. I think that was Vanity Fair or Variety that did that one. But yeah, it's I was a huge Bond fan, especially Daniel Craig's version, and was looking forward to kind of seeing his last shot at the character, especially after all these talks that he wouldn't come back to the character. So it was
right.
But we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that.
Whew. Yeah, that was it. We literally Shay and I were coordinating a watch of a movie last night. So we were watching just Casino Royale last night, and it hurts like thinking like, oh man, like first of all, I can't believe it's been 15 years or 14 years since this movie came out, but now we have to wait even longer to actually watch it. But I guess like at the end of the day, it's the right move to do, right? Like this is good on Universal on doing that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see too, because I mean, all these movies now are getting either pushed to VOD early or they're getting pushed back. But also, the interesting part is all the movies that are being made right now that would be potentially released as early as maybe next year. So that'll create this weird hole. Hopefully when everything's, it kind of gets going back to normal, there'll be like this weird gap in the box office at some point where all these movies that were supposed to come out or have been pushed on the production.
Right. Yeah. Especially next year, looking at like Mission Impossible, Jurassic Park, Batman, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly.
4 more Marvel movies. There were so many movies slated for last year, for next year. Sorry.
Some they got finished like under the wire, and then other films like Jurassic World that was shooting out in BC, like they paused production. So we'll have to. It'll change the whole release schedule for the next probably 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. In terms of the Oscars, if you think that the Oscars were to start tomorrow, what do you think would win? With all the films that we've had right now,
just from January till now.
Well, I mean, the front runner's got to be Peter Rabbit 2. I would say.
Oh boy,
or did that get pushed? Did that get pushed? I don't know.
I think it got pushed to August.
Okay, never mind. Geez, I don't know. We haven't. I guess. Yeah. I mean, honestly, whoever got their films out early is. I guess it's a short list. I don't know. I don't know what I would go with. What do you?
If I were to give like Best Actress, I'd give it to Elizabeth Moss. Man, she was really good in Invisible Man. If you get a chance to check it out,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I just like her performance is amazing, and I mean it's Elizabeth Moss, and I think it's well deserved if she would lock it in for that. But a really cool film, and which is you can watch if you haven't watched it. I guess people can now watch it at home.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you? If you're cool with us asking, Tanner, like what are you working on right now? I know, like you're a writer, you do a bunch of other things. What is there? Is there something that you're working on currently right now that you could talk about, or let us know, give us an insight on?
Yeah, I have a few things coming up that I will be able to announce in the coming weeks. But unfortunately, with everything going on pause and the whole entertainment industry really grinding to a halt, there were a few things this month, and I was, even with I was supposed to be doing a little bit with the CSAs, the Canadian Screen Awards, with that getting canceled, it really it changed everything. So yeah, it's a weird time to be in this industry, in the entertainment industry, because everything is just literally on pause. So it's tough to say, like things have been pushed back, but it's, again, we don't know if things will get pushed back more, if things will eventually fall off the table. So I think like anyone else in the industry right now, I don't want to jinx anything and speak too soon, but I will be able to announce a few new things coming next week. And I was supposed to do a couple Comic-Con appearances, and looks like my one in June in Niagara Falls has now been pushed to September. So hopefully, I guess we'll know more as things progress, but hopefully that date will actually be able to happen.
Perfect. All right. Well, Tanner, thank you so much for joining us on the Movie Podcast. Where could people follow you? Obviously, you are the face of movies for so many Canadians across the nation. Where could people follow you and keep up to date on what you're going to be working on?
Yeah, you can follow me on all of the socials and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's my full name, Tanner Zipchen, Zipchen. And I'll be, you'll see me popping up in a few places the next little while. I managed to film a few projects in the last little bit that will be hitting TV and streaming services later this year. So definitely watch for it. You'll see me around.
Awesome. No doubt. And we'll definitely be letting people know that you've been on the episode so they could follow you and listen to you and see what you've been up to. Tanner, thank you so much for being on the show. It's so nice that even though we're all kind of in social distancing right now, we can still come together and do this. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode.
Of course, guys. Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully we can do this again, but like all in the same room next time would be great.
That would be great.
Thank you so much, Tanner.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you so much, Tanner, for joining us for this amazing 50th episode of ours. Of course, if you want to stay in the conversation with us, make sure to go to thistimewith.com/talk. Rate us on iTunes and wherever else you can rate us. Because of social distancing, if you want to drop by any of our houses and throw a brick through our window with a note on it, you're more than welcome to do that too. We won't give our address. We won't give our addresses out though, so it's going to be a bit of a mystery. But of course, please share and send our love everywhere you can. Of course, that was This Time with the Movie Podcast.
And we'll see you next.